Were you confident at 7-3 at half-time that you were close to clicking?
Yeah, we were hopeful, definitely. Listen, Sailor are an unbelievably physical team, aren't they? Like, listen, the guys that love whacking into things. And they've got halfbacks that are very efficient in terms of playing a territory game, so they can be a challenge to play against. And you need to be very clinical in terms of taking some opportunities. So we were close on a few occasions, but then lose the ball in a few different ways inside their 22 or just around their 22, and they get a couple of scrum penalties, which tends to then they relieve pressure, and then the line it tend to get inside our half, and then they'll try and keep us pinned back with some of that kicking. At least I thought Hugo was exceptional in terms of how he dealt with some of the kicking game that they have. And they don't really punish us in that sense. But yeah, listen, it was always going to be that little bit of an arm wrestle, and you're going to have to be patient in terms of taking some chances, or maybe if we're a bit more clinical, then it forces them to play in a slightly different way. And then you see that in the start of the second half. Granted, they lose a guy to the bin before half time, then they lose another guy just after half time, so they're playing a period, very, very short period, albeit with 13 men, and we're able to, take some chances then as they come along, and you're seeing more space open up as the game goes on, because listen, they're tiring as defenders, so there's more space out there, but you still got to be able to be clinical to take that space. So and it was pleasing to see some of the tries that we scored then as the game went on. Obviously Ryan makes a break up one sideline off the back of Gary, and you get the ball back inside to Euro. Not quite sure what he was doing passing to, but made the conversion a little bit easier. And then he obviously scores on the try up the edge himself, shows great athleticism, doesn't need to score there. So and then a couple of more tries later on, which is pleasing. But at that stage, it's just about getting the job done, isn't it? Get the job done, and it was a great group effort. I think always tricky, the two games, 6-day turnaround into the game. Yeah. It's just managed group, couple of guys in, couple of guys out. Like, that's the way it is. But it just takes a huge squad effort. Hooker's playing at number 8, just making sure that we just get the job done ultimately is the most important bit.
Excuse me for jumping ahead, just I've got time pressure. How would you describe the type of challenge you expect from Toulon?
They've all-star squad, haven't they? They've plenty of firepower there. Listen, another great challenge for us as a group. It's great to be, again in the semi-final of the tournament, but we know how bloody tough it is. So Glasgow are probably the form team in Europe, going into this weekend, weren't they? So, and they managed to get the job done up there. I haven't really watched any of that game now, so it's hard for me to comment. I saw literally a couple of minutes up before we left UCD. So, listen, it's an impressive win up there, because as I said, Glasgow have probably been the form team in Europe, and to go up there and do the job, because obviously they were right. They were out their luck in the previous round with Stormers at the end. So, listen, they're a team that causes plenty of pain earlier in towards the tail end of my playing career and into my early coaching career. They caused a lot of pain. Some very, very tough days against them that I can remember, and there's a team with some serious firepower. So, but in between now and then, we've got some URC action to look forward to, haven't we? So Ulster in 6 days' time. Speaking of teams that are in very, very good form at the moment.
The importance of being back here, Leo, as opposed to having to go to play Glasgow, that's huge, isn't it?
But listen, we were here for semi-final last year, and we didn't manage to get the job done there, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's from a logistical point of view, it saves Al Gaff a bit of work anyway, so he's happy. Listen, we need to make it pay. If you're playing at home in semi-finals. So, but again, that's the reward of. Listen, there's all the work that goes in during the build stages and doing everything you can. You're battling out for wins. They're not knockout games, but that's the reward when you obviously win 4 games in your pool. We weren't in the top 2 seedings, but we were 3rd seed, which listen, it's off the reward of winning at the end against La Rochelle here, dogging out a win away in Leicester and in Bayonne. So where we're losing both those games at half time. So those sort of battles are good for us as a group because they harden you up for this time of year. So but yeah, as I said, like it's sort of URC action now is on my mind, and we'll make some plans for Toulon. Definitely, listen, we haven't seen as much of them because listen, Glasgow team, we played a ton tail end of last season, and obviously we played them a few weeks ago as well. So, but listen, yeah, it's very impressive what they've done because we've just gone to Glasgow ourselves and we're well beat, so we know how hard it is to go over there. So, but they've a mix of pace, power, and some big marquee players.
When you have the first half that was sticky like that, and knock-ons and just passes not sticking, how pleasing is it to see the team kind of play with such confidence and get that execution in the second half?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and just getting the job done is the most pleasing bit. So, in different ways. Last week, as we were sitting here, it was a bizarre game last week. So, this week it's such a different challenge. Like Sale, the way they play, like they're gonna test you out. So like all the contact areas, I'm sure it feels like you're running the brick walls out there at times, and they test you out. You some strong guys in to break down, and then if they get the opportunity, they'll try to put a squeeze on you set piece and kick you in, try to put a squeeze on you. So you got to get through it. So, but if you stay brave and listen, stay playing your game, stay, being a little bit more clinical in terms of some of the work on the ground, when we're in possession, accuracy around the ruck. So, and you get your rewards. And listen, fair play to the players there. Thought they got some great rewards as the game went on, and that's the way we want to try and play the game, isn't it? It's enjoyable to play, and I'm sure it's enjoyable for people paying their money to come and watch as well. So, but yeah, anyway, we'll see. Different challenge, as I said, for Toulon, but we have a few more weeks before we need to worry about them.